welcome to our live training today. I'm really excited to be here. I hope you're here too. We're going to talk all today about leveling up, how to take what you're doing right now and make it 10% better so that you're creating sustainable compounding habits that are going to be effective long term. We are creating plans that you can stick to. This is not about going on some other diet, staying on it for a couple of weeks and then falling off of plan again because the changes you made were just too much all at once. This is what we're talking about today. If we haven't met before, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Tanessa Shears. I'm a weight loss coach for women. My job is to take all the strategies and make them simple, refined, and have them implemented in a way that is sustainable for you. So we're going through our concepts today and we're talking all about leveling up today. So before we jump in, I do want to say if you're here on the live broadcast, hello, leave me a comment below. And if you're watching on the replay, always say hi below. I'd love to know that you are here. And if you know that this message is going to be helpful for a friend, I would love you to tag them in the comments or share it with them after we're done. So let's talk about leveling up. And I want to start by saying that I want to first talk about where I see us making mistakes all the time. So we get in our heads like, this is it, I'm done, I'm going to go on a diet. And I'm going to use the word diet, you can call it a nutrition plan or whatever you want. But we go on Pinterest or we go on Google and we go and pick out, the recipe plans and stuff we're going to follow. And it's going to be, this is what we're going to do. So we come back and we have our diet and we get all set up, ready to go. And then we are like, we implement everything, but it's so far removed from what we do on a daily basis. We don't have any of the foods we normally eat, none of the times we normally eat, we're not with the people we normally eat, and everything is just entirely different. And yes, you can white knuckle your way through this for the first 3 or 4 weeks, but what I often find happens is we start getting sloppy, or we start, sliding, we start telling ourselves excuses like this is really restrictive, this is hard, I can't do this. And then what you do is you go into an overeat, and then you're cycling through the binging and the shaming and the guilt and the doubt and all of that stuff that comes up. And you end up in this perpetual cycle of committing, trying, failing, despair, then you commit again, and you try, and you flail, and you despair, and we go in this circle over and over again. And it is exhausting, because not only are you not seeing results, but you're starting to develop this belief about that you think there must be something wrong with me. And that is where I want to nip this in the bud. So what I want you to do is try this concept called leveling up instead. And I'm going to give you 3 examples of how you can level up something to make it super simple. So I'm going to get you to have a moment today where you are going to write down what the last 3 days looked like for you, what it looked like for your exercise, what it looked like for the types of food you eat, the times of food you eat, the emotions around the food you ate, all of that stuff. So what I want you to do is have an accurate picture of what you are doing right now as part of your plan. All right, so for me, that would look like, well, in the last week, I have gone to the gym 4 times, and I've gone for a walk once. I have had salads every day for lunch. My dinners have been, one of the recipes we've been cooking during the week. I have breakfast on the days that I work out in the mornings. I have certain intermittent fasting hours that I follow, so I have a good idea of what has been going on. Then what I want you to do is pick one of those areas where you're feeling super confident and super consistent. And remember, this concept can be applied if you're starting at baseline, meaning you're starting at, I haven't even started anything, I don't even know where to make improvements. You can start from base. Okay, so you can improve this no matter where you're at right now. So don't just think this is a strategy that applies if you're, already on a roll. Start here. I want you to take one area and I want you to ask yourself, how can I make this area 10% better today? And this is going to be using a system that I call good, better, best. So you're going to take, the first example I have is making your 24-hour plan. So I have talked extensively about the concept of planning exactly what you are going to eat in a day the night before or first thing when you wake up in the morning. The reason for this is it removes all the impulsive choice out of your plan. So if you're going through your day like, am I hungry now? Should eat this now? Should grab this snack? There's a great chance that there is a lot of what we'll call grab-assing going on. You're eating a lot of foods that have nothing to do with your goals. And you also have no record of what's actually working for you. So instead, what I'm going to have you do is you make your 24-hour plan. This is the example that we're going to be using today. So if we're talking about making a good, a better, and a best option, here's what we would do. And I have this example here. So if I were to do a good job with my 24-hour plan, I might say that this is going to look like making a plan and following it 5 days per week, which means the night before or morning of, I write down everything I'm going to eat in the next 24 hours, and I follow it 5 days a week, no matter what. Maybe that's my version of good, all right? Then what I do is I establish, okay, if I were to just make it a little bit better, if I were to do best, what would that look like? And best might be like, well, 80% of the food on my plan is going to be a whole food, meaning it was nature-made, not man-made. We're talking things like, healthy fats, protein, vegetables, fruit, rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, those kind of things, okay? So 80%, and I follow my plan 5 days a week. So you can see how that was a level up. So level 1, make a plan and follow it 5 days a week. That's good. But if I wanted to do a better job, I would make a plan and follow it 5 days a week and have 80% of the foods on it be whole foods. All right, so that's my better. But if I were going to do my best, it would be 80% of the foods on my plan are whole foods, and I followed it 7 days per week. So that seems pretty simple, right? But here's what we do. We like to go from 0, meaning I have no idea what I'm eating today, I'm not making a plan, and we like to jump all the way to best. We like to say, that's it, whole foods, 7 days a week, great. And you know what? When you don't have the habits and skills in place yet of even making the plan, being able to plan 24 hours in advance, what happens is that works all well for the first couple days until you realize I don't have any groceries, I don't know how to plan, I don't know how to deal with the emotions that come up when I don't want to eat what I said I was going to eat, I don't know what the heck a whole food is. This is where we run into the problem, and this is where I want you to pump the brakes right now. I need you to establish what a good, better, and best look like. Once you have done that, you start with good. When you have successfully completed good for 1 to 2 weeks, then you can consider moving up. Here's another way to consider it. Stay at good until you stop seeing results. We like to make things complicated. We love the idea of novelty and new foods and new plans and new diets. And if we've been doing the same thing for so long, well, we have to make it more complicated, right? We have to kick it up a notch, but that's not true. If you're starting at good, meaning you plan what you're going to eat for the next 24 hours, and you follow it 5 days a week, if you are seeing results, and whatever that looks like for you, whether you're dropping weight, whether you're dropping inches, whether you're fitting your clothes, sleeping better, feeling good, if you're seeing results, do not be in a rush to complicate it. The more complicated your plan is, the more likely you are to fall off of it. This is so important. So good, make a plan, follow it 5 days a week, great. Hold that either for 2 weeks or until you stop seeing results. If your results start to slow down and you plateau for a week or two, jump up to better, which was 80% whole foods, plan 5 days a week, same concept, until you stop seeing results or a couple weeks. Then you're going to jump up to best, which is 80% good foods, making and following a plan 7 days a week. So that is the concept of good, better, best. It's about leveling up one area at a time. Now, if you are looking at all of the foods you eat, the way you plan, exercise, sleep, all of these habits here, what I do not want you to do is go and level up everything at once for that exact same reason. By leveling up in one area, that may be what you needed to shift out of a plateau and start seeing results again. If you're gonna go and level up your planning, your foods, your exercise, all of that stuff, again, that's that same idea of overcomplicating it. You want to keep it as simple as possible. Simple is easy. Here's where we go wrong. We're like, this is boring. I couldn't possibly just do boring for the rest of my life. And here's the amazing thing. Why not? I ask my women this all the time. They get to about week 3 or 4, which is halfway through my Last Diet Makeover program, and they get a case of the middles where they're like antsy for something new, not because they're not seeing results, but because it's the novelty of always complicating it, making it harder and more. What I want to ask you instead is, are you getting results, and why are you in a rush to change it if it's working? That goes back to likely, I'm bored, I'm restless. That is what you need to manage. You need to manage that you're bored. You need to manage that you're restless. You need to leave your diet alone. It's working. Stop playing with it. It's fine. You only need to be making changes to it if it's not working over an extended chunk of time. I'm talking 1 to 2 weeks, okay? We're not changing things every 3 days. We're not changing things because we're bored. We're changing things because we've genuinely let them work or attempt to work, and it's not. Then we make educated changes, okay? That is so important. So I'm going to give you 2 more examples that I came up with in different categories about what leveling up might look like, so it can help you if you're going to take this time today to write down what you're doing right now so you can see what one area you want to zoom in on first. So we talked about planning to start, okay? My second idea I came up with was how you can level up your exercise. So say right now you're not exercising at all, or maybe it's very minimal, or maybe it's super inconsistent, because inconsistency also doesn't yield results. So we're talking about consistency. So good, better, best. Where are my levels that I know I can go through when I master them? So level 1 might be, my good is going to be going to the gym twice a week for 30 minutes, and I'm going to go on 1 walk. And although it sounds so simple, and your brain is going to go, that's not enough. That's not possibly enough. I have to be able to do more than that. I want you to ask yourself, how consistent are you being with your 5 times a week, 1 hour workouts? Because if you're not being consistent, we need to dial it back a little bit here and find consistency. Consistency is what plays the long-term game. So, if good is a 2 times by 30-minute workouts and a 1 walk, that's good. When you have mastered that, you level up to better. Good, better. Better might be 3 30-minute workouts in the gym and a walk. It's better, and then you have your best. So best might look like, maybe I'm going to do 3 45-minute workouts in the gym, and I'm going to go for a walk. So we went from either being super inconsistent or doing nothing. We went all the way through 2 30-minute workouts and a walk. We shifted that to 3 30 minutes and a walk, to 3 45-minute workouts and a walk. And again, it doesn't have to follow those times or that structure, but this is an example of how you level it up. So notice, from good to better, I leveled up the frequency. So we went from 2 30-minute workouts to 3 30-minute workouts. But then from better to best, we went from 30-minute workouts to 45-minute workouts. So you can start looking at little changes like that. And I'm going to tell you, if you're doing intensive workouts, you don't need to do a heck of a lot longer than 45 minutes. We get to the gym at 6:30 in the morning, and we are walking out that door at 7:15 a.m. 45 minutes has been exceptionally effective for me, and I enjoy it and look forward to it because it's not a process. And if you love the longer workouts, that's amazing, but it comes with finding where is your good, better, best. So the last example I'm going to give you, we've talked about planning, we've talked about exercise, and we're going to talk about foods. How do you level up in your food? So good for me might be, okay, I'm going to have at least 1 serving of vegetables or fruit at each meal. And this might not sound like a lot, but so a lot of the times when I start working with clients, they are either not eating any fruits or vegetables at all, or it's only at dinner, or only at lunch, or only half the times per week, half the days per week at 1 meal. So what you could say to yourself is, well, my good is just going to be eating 1 serving of vegetables at each meal. And you have to identify what a serving looks like. And inside my Last Diet Makeover program, we talk about a serving of vegetables being the size of your fist. That is a serving of vegetables. So that might be your good. If we're going to go to better, maybe you're like, okay, my better option is 2 servings of vegetables at each meal and 1 serving of a healthy fat. So I'm leveling up not only the frequency, but also the composition. My best option might be 3 servings of vegetables or fruit at each meal and 1 serving of fat and 1 serving of protein at each meal. So we've gone from 1 serving of vegetables at each meal to 2 servings of vegetables each meal and a healthy fat to 3 servings of vegetables and 1 protein and 1 fat. And of course you can change the numbers up there depending on where your starting point is. But when you're at your starting point, day 1, if you have set up good, better, best in the habits that you are creating currently, then what you can do is you have a very clear, laid out plan what to do when or if you plateau. If you stop seeing results, or you find this habit isn't working, you have a very clear next step system. This is how you change your habits. It is by leveling up via a system and process that is measurable. You're doing it or you're not doing it. Yes, you're doing your level 1, your good habit, or no, you're not. Good, better, best. Leveling up, increasing your habits by manageable amounts that you can do so that you can easily incorporate it into a sustainable lifestyle. It goes like this for anything, and this is what I wanted to share with you guys today. So I want you to leave a comment below before you leave and let me know what in one area of your health or your fitness or your planning or your nutrition that you are intent on saying, okay, here's where I am now. Here is my good, better, best. What are you going to do to level up just one area of your health today in a way that you can consistently maintain fun, happy, enjoying it for the rest of your life? And it doesn't mean you're going to pick the right one the first time, but it's this process of figuring it out. What works for you is what makes sustainable habits. Not following my plan, not following somebody else's plan, not downloading a diet off of Pinterest. It's about showing up for yourself. So I am so thankful that you guys have been here this week. If this content if you enjoy it, hit the like button. And in addition to that, I would love it if you could share it with someone who needs a little encouragement on getting started in their health and fitness journey. You can do that by either hitting the share button or by tagging them in the comments below. I'd be so appreciative. And lastly, I have tentatively scheduled the next Last Diet Makeover Ever program to be opening for May of 2019. I teach this stuff inside of my tribe, and if this is something that you are super excited about, I would love you to jump on the wait list so that you know right when we open. You can head to TanessaShears.com/join, and you can have a look through what we offer there. The program's getting a full revamp before we open up again for May, and you can jump on the wait list there so you're in the know when I open enrollment. I hope you guys have a brilliant and wonderful rest of your week. Take care and go and level up just one habit today. Thanks.